What a shame that President Obama is not arriving on boating pace, but he's in the UK, and here's my welcome message to him. Butt out, Barack. The US president is expected to wade into the great Brexit Remain debate and tell people to vote to stay in the EU. Now, this from the leader of a country that fights for its own independence and sovereignty like no other place on the planet. Can you honestly see America ever giving away its right to defend or to govern itself? No way. The hypocrisy he's displaying is as rich as the Atlantic is wide. He should focus on problems back home rather than coming here to lecture us about our choice. The Americans love their anthem. What are those words again?
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's it. That's it. The land of the free, the home of the brave. Can we be allowed some of that, Mr. President?
Well, Nick, for a man of your journalistic experience, I can't believe that you're so upset that a head of state would have an opinion on something that is going to directly affect a relationship with a country that he wants to be part of Europe.
Of course he wants. It's in America's interests.
But why would you not expect him to wade into the debate?
He's perfectly entitled as an individual. He has to realise the position that he holds. When America suddenly decides that it wants to band with Canada and Mexico and perhaps the top half of South America, and in fact they won't get their orders from Washington, they'll get them from Montreal or Montevideo, yeah, absolutely we'll sign up. And that is the reality. Now, I just need to say about the EU debate, genuinely I'm conflicted. I genuinely see both arguments, but I think the position of influence that the President enjoys, it is a conflict and he should not be doing it. And no one would expect David Cameron.
Isn't that what friends are for, though?
Isn't that what friends are for? Also, Nick, can I just ask you, where did you get that from? It sounds like a Republican campaign slogan, butt out Obama.
I just made it up.
You sure Donald Trump didn't hand it over you?
You can take the boy out the sun, you can't take the sun out the boy. I think that is probably the reality of where I got that from.
Exactly. No, but in all seriousness, as you know, I'm completely pro-Europe and want us to remain. So I'm thrilled that the President is coming to this country for this reason. But in the same way, we are horrified by the prospect of a President, what's his name? Trump. Because we know the impact that a President Bush had on the world, the negative impact that a President Bush had on the world. The world is more interconnected than it's ever been before. And let me finish. President Obama knows exactly the negative impact leaving the EU will have on trade with America. So, of course, he should come here to talk about that. And actually, he should be commended and not lampooned by people like you.
Michelle, do you think people could be, their decision coloured in any way by what the President might say?
I hope so.
Absolutely. And for that reason, I think it's wrong. I'm sorry.
And why?
I'm with you.
Why is it wrong?
Because for all the reasons that you've just described in your intro, I think America, given the choice, would never enter into a union such as the EU. I don't think for a nanosecond they would give away
No, but America
powers,
still is part of a
sovereignty.
trade bloc with Canada. Yes, it is.
Yes, but I don't believe that they would give up sovereignty and things like that. And I think that coming and telling people, a lot of whom are undecided, I think it's going to go one of two ways.
But surely we can presume that Trump is pro-Brexit. So does it not just bring a bit of balance
But
to
Trump's not
the...
trotting over here and coming over
Well,
here and
we didn't
saying
even want to let him in.
But
also,
I
don't buy the debate that it's a sort of he's going to colour and influence the British public.
Well,
Not more so than leaflets. Not more so than the campaigns of in or out.
Rachel,
it's part of the landscape.
Rachel, there is another argument that Britons actually don't like to be told what to do.
Yes.
We're quite an insular nation.
Hold on a second, Jane. Hold on.
Could it actually backfire in that this guy comes and people say, hang on, Claire, don't tell me which way to vote.
Yes, it will.
Danger, Rachel?
I think that Obama arriving, it's going to feel like a grown-up has suddenly arrived on our shores. And don't forget that, without America, we could be speaking German. So what they say is quite influential. Does carry some
amount of work there as well, you know.
I know, but don't forget, America came in, saved Europe twice.
Well, Russia played a role as well.
I know, but what I'm saying is America plays a role. It is an actor in the whole European
And I don't get for one moment. I don't believe for one moment he's going to come and tell us what to do.
He's not.
He won't. You're absolutely right.
No, I think he probably will say something quite direct, which is, America needs Britain in Europe.
That's exactly
what he needs to say.
Oh my God! No, just and you've nailed it. For America, it makes absolute sense.
Yep.
Fantastic. But
let
Britons decide without the influence of a hugely powerful president.
Nick.
June?
Well, the only thing I would say is, part of what's going on at the moment, the EU is currently negotiating the TTIP agreement, which will be what our trade deal is with America. Now, imagine if we do leave on June 23rd, that deal will then impact us because we will no longer be able to have the terms of that deal. So for President Obama, of course it makes sense. Wait, let me finish. Because it's complicated for him. Because at the end of the day, if he agrees whatever those terms are for a bloc that is 500 million strong, and then we have this special relationship with the US, which we do, and then all of a sudden we leave, there's no way we are going to get the same agreement for 65 million that you now have for 444 million or whatever it is if we leave.
You're an educated man, you read The Guardian.
That's an oxymoron.
It's the hypocrisy that I'm driving at. Remember, that is what I said. Hang on, June. You do see the Hippocratic aspect of this?
I absolutely do.
Hippocratic. The hypocritical aspect of this.
I absolutely do. But at the same time, just because they're not going through an issue of their own sovereignty and what they would fight for and they wouldn't fight for, doesn't mean they can't have... can't have an opinion to help shape the debate. Now, shaping the debate is for all of us as individuals to take what we want out of what we've read, what we've heard, and form our own opinions. It's a very complicated situation, and I can imagine a lot of people are sitting on the fence, and whilst British people do want to make their own decisions, we want to make informed decisions, and therefore what he has to say actually is important to me. I won't be swung by it.
And if he stands up and he says, we've got Putin snapping at the heels of Europe, and we need you boys on side to help us keep European peace. Yes, we do.
We do have something called NATO.
And actually, the fact that Britain is part of NATO meant that we didn't have a European defence. We didn't need a European defence.
So you disagree with your brother, Boris, on this?
She does, and we like that.
No, just out of interest. No, but I'm just interested, because he is the most prominent person out there alongside Michael.
No, but she's entitled to her own opinion.
But I'm just wondering how that all plays out. How that all plays out.
Go on.
Well, the fact that clearly you are at odds with each other.
She's entitled to her own opinion.
Of course, I'm just interested.
Every time I'm told whether I'm proud to remain, I want out. And every time I'm told I want out, I want in.
And I don't like being told which way to vote by President Obama.
It's so rank. So let him come and say what he thinks, and everyone can make up their mind.
Well, we all. Right, I will pay all your mortgages if President Obama arrived and told everybody, I tell you what, I think Brexit is the future. I will pay all your mortgages.
We've got to get him on the phone. He's going to pay our mortgages.
But you know what I think? I'm undecided as well, and I'm trying to learn more and listen to a lot of things, but I think it's going to be quite close. I think the polls are all showing very close, but what I think is going to win out in this is the passion. I think people on the Brexit have more emotional drive on their side of the vote.
Well, don't forget, they've had 20 years campaigning on this issue.
Yeah, but then what I think...
And the devil has the best tunes, so they can say, home for the open seas.
So that means she's in.
The door of the jail
I
is
really
open.
like this, Johnson.
But my point is, Obama doing this, it will kind of stoke that fire more. It will tap into those emotions. You are spot on when you say we don't like being told what to do.
But he is not going to come and tell us what to do.
He won't literally tell us what to do.
No, but what he is going to make people understand, which is so important, are the implications of what it means in terms of our trade with America.
And Rachel, the other thing I referred to...
we need to make sure the British people are informed.
It's not like America's not without its own problems. Do you remember his first job was going to be closed down to Guantanamo Bay? My first week in office, the last time I looked, it's still going. There are many things he's not addressed in his own country, which is another point I made there. There is also the school...
This is about trade
maybe
with
fix
America.
your own. Maybe fix your own farm first and come over and tell us how to run the ranch.
The other point is he is an outgoing president, and he can have his little swan song. I mean, I don't think it's going to change the world what he says when he comes on Friday and Saturday.
And it's about making sure that people are informed.
Yeah, I know. I see that. Graham, I asked you whether you think it would colour people's with other people. You don't think it will?
I don't think it will, because I just think it'll form part of the debate, and I think it's important that we understand what relationships are at the moment in terms of in terms of the union, and therefore what we're gonna lose or gain depending which way people vote. But it's a very delicately balanced, emotive subject, I think, because I think there are so many things at play, and this whole discussion is very, very complex.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't seem to have won many of you. Has to be said. I can put this
Sorry,
down as a
no,
try.
I'm still with you.
Okay.
Have you got a ticket to go and see him?
He's coming to see me.
And he'll be so nice. You'll
Yeah.
change your tune when
Yeah,
you're with
I
him.
would. Yeah,
Yeah, the White House has been asking my schedule for a while now.
Of course they have.
No, it's because you already said you're busy.
I'm still
True.
waiting for my invitation.